Hi babes, come let me show you how to stack your whipped cream cakes correctly. Welcome back to my channel guys. So today I'll be teaching you how I stack my whipped cream cakes like a no-fail proof recipe. Yes. So a no-fail method on how I stack my whipped cream cakes. So first thing we do, we get our cakes chilled, frozen cake. So you're gonna be working with a frozen cake. Of course, we're working with a frozen cake. Like keynotes, we're working with a frozen cake. Okay, and we're just going to layer our cakes. And if you want to add fillings, you can go ahead and add fillings and seal the cake. Do your first layer, which is going to be your front coat. Okay, so now one thing you have to take note when you're doing your tiered cakes, like you need to trim both sides of your cake correctly, because you need a very straight cake. Because when your cake is not properly straight or trimmed, let me use the word trimmed, when you stack the upper layer on it, it's going to tilt. Like you're not going to have a very straight angle for the cakes, or even when you want to snap, or when you want to snap the cake, you start noticing that one side is not balanced. Okay, so if you have a plum, you can use a plum to check it to see if your cake is properly trimmed and all sides are equal. So now or like I said earlier, we're working with a chew cake. So now I'll go ahead and do my crumb coat and pop it into the freezer. Now I'll get my stacking board. This is one of the most important things you need for your tiered cakes. Even though if you're doing fondant, you're doing whipped cream, you need a stacking board. So why I'm measuring my stacking board in this video is because I didn't get the exact size I wanted. Now my upper tier is a 7 inches cake. So and the board is 8 inches. So I'm going to trim off the excess and then use it that way, because I didn't get the exact one. So here is me trimming. When I'm done trimming, I'm going to create a hole in between. So in some baker shop, you can get some stacking board that has hole in the middle already. Some are pre-cut, but this particular one doesn't. It didn't come with it, so I had to create the hole. So what is that hole for? This is the hole we're going to use to penetrate our dowel rod, our pipe that's going to be holding the two cakes together. So if you don't create this hole, when you want to do that method I'm going to show you, the pipe is not going to penetrate to the bottom tier, and guys, your cake is gone, because you cannot go ahead and start eating it like forcefully to go down. That cake is going to have some sort of crack, and I promise you, on the way of on the way of delivery, it's going to have issues. Because when I come here to give you a tutorial, is because I've gone through it and I don't want you to go through it. Okay, all right. So I've created my O because my pipe is of this size, so that's why I created my O. All right. Now let's go. No much too much stories today. Okay, now I'm going directly to place my cake on it. This is my upper tier. Please don't forget to place it now. I don't know any other method that works, but this works fine. I place it beneath now so I don't forget. I did a cake about 2 months ago and I forgot. Yes. So should the case you want to wonder that, oh, you're a professional or you're a professor of cakes, that you cannot make mistake. Okay, oh, I beg you can make mistake. Oh, hello. No, please, no jokes today. Okay, now let's get straight to it. Now I'm going to crumb coat this cake and pop into the freezer for another 1 or 2 hours. Now my cakes are frozen. I've done my crumb coat and I'm still going to put it in the freezer. Now you understand what I'm trying to do. I'm creating a structure for this cake. I don't want any issues. Now the cake is out of the freezer after an hour, after like 2 hours. Yeah, I spent over 2 hours. You see now that all the crumbs are sealed, so it makes my whipped cream, the other layer I'm bringing and the other layer I'm bringing on it now to be to be flawless. Yes, I don't want to lose my train of thought. Okay, so now I'm just going to add the layer, and that is it. So one thing I want you to take off note of is we are not doing your tiered cake in a hurry. I don't even accept emergency orders for tiered cake, except you have cake readily available that you can use. But if you are just going to bake the cake today and you want to compose, you want to, I don't know about that, please count me out. Because your cake needs to be frozen. Another cake is coming on it. So how would you work with a cake that is not chilled? What do you think the end result will be? Please, we are not going there. We're not going to have that conversation. It's cancelled. So chilled cake. Now let me tell you what I do for my tiered cake. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't do it in an hurry. I cover my cake the previous night. If the delivery is in the afternoon, I'm still going to do the same. I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to go through this process you're watching right now. Do the crumb coat, do the second layer, and put it in the freezer. Like you can stay in the freezer for 6 hours. That's overnight. I might do that maybe like 12 a.m. and maybe the liquid is 6 a.m. I'll just wake up 5 a.m. and start the cake, and in like 1 hour time I'll deliver. In case you don't know, maybe let me tell you that I'm an home baker. Yeah, I work from home. Sorry, I don't know. I have to spill this here because we wondering that, oh, do you open your store 6 a.m.? I actually work from home, so my studio is in my house, so it's always easy to do that. Okay, so if you're working from a storefront, you have to do that ahead before the end of the day. So when you just open the next day, resume work next day, you stack your cake and it's ready for delivery. Okay, so now the reason why I didn't go in with this color straight because I don't like too much of dark colors on my whipping cakes, because I don't know if you watch any of my videos. I mentioned one time that dark colors alters the taste of whipped cream. It's not always like when it doesn't taste the same. It's not like the taste you get when the cream is just white. Okay, so I don't apply it directly. So I go in with first base, and I had this dark color. That's how I do mine. So now I'm going to do this covering now and still go ahead and put it in the freezer. The reason I'm doing that is because I want this particular this layer I just added to chill up, to firm up before I'm going to stack both cakes. So you're going to see in this video how I'm going about it. The reason why I'm taking you through this process is so you understand what it takes to do a tiered whipped cream cake. It's no joke. You take your time, and of course you're going to charge well, because tiered cake consumes more whipped cream. So if you're going to do a 10 each and a 7 each separately, it's not the same quantity you're going to use when you're doing both, because you want it more firmer. Okay, so if you do whipped cream a lot, you would understand what I'm saying. Now I'm just applying the design for the cake. The customer wanted gray color and a touch of gold, so I'm repeating the same thing here, applying my dark colors. So after which I'll stack. Now this is where the stacking comes. Okay, drum rolls. So we're going to measure the rod. You see, if you notice, I use the doer to touch the cream a bit, because I want to see the exact place is going to, the exact measurement I need. Now you're not going to exceed that measurement. Once you exceed that measurement, the upper tier that is coming will not sit balanced. You need your doer rod to be in the same length of your cake. So I use my pan to measure the 7-inch of the cake, so that I know the place I'm going to go in my dough rod. So I don't put my dough rod outside the cake, outside where the cake is going to sit. I have to put my dough rod inside the circle where my cake is going to sit. So because it's a foundation, I'm bringing another cake on it, and I want it to sit very well. So you go in, you see the way it is. It's not too out, it's just in the cake. So if it's popping too out, is it pop? No, I don't think the word is pop. If it's if it's not inside your base cake, inside the cake rather, you your cake will be balanced when you place the upper one. It's going to tilt because one dough rod is longer than the other. So as much as possible, make sure you cut your dough rod equally. Now this is the pipe I used in one of my previous cake, but I just used my foil paper to cover it. You can get this from any baker store or from those people that do sell building accessories. So I added melted chocolate, inserted my dough rod, my pipe rather, lifted it up with my scraper and placed on the other cake. You see how smooth and simple that was. If I don't have my stacking board in between these layers, I might not be able to lift that cake the way I just did. So now you're just going to go in and um, insert the rod inside. Now you see where that thing that happened, where that hole we created. If it's not here, this is where the disaster would have happened. The pipe will have been stuck in between, and then you will not be able to push it in anymore. Now you have issues of bringing it out, and at that point you are damaging the structure of the cake. So when you're measuring your pipe, measure your pipe accurately. Measure the full length of your base cake. So if your cake is 7 inches tall, you're going to measure 7 inches. Then the upper base, if it's 7 inches tall, you're not going to measure. You're not going to use 7 inches tall in getting the upper base. You're going to use half the measurement. That is why that pipe could sink in and go straight down, because I use half measurement of my upper tier. So if I'm adding both, if down is 7 and up is 7, I'm going to use 4 for the up, and I will use the 7 of the down because I need it to go down. So you're going to do half. That way it goes through both cakes and is securing your cakes, and your foundation is sealed and perfect. But now if you measure both equally, it will not go through, it will go through the cakes, and you have leftover at the tops and at the top rather, and that time then you now try to cut it off when the rod is in between the cake. Another issue, your cake is going to collapse. So make sure you measure everything accurately.